It's the sometimes vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Hello everybody, isn't it weird that someplace bright and clean and shiny can be every bit as creepy as, say, the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, somewhere creepy and creaky and dark. This is a bright, well-lit, very clean smelling, believe me. I know you can't smell through the, but you know, it smells clean. Place, very, very clean. So clean, in fact, the little smudge on the wall really sticks out. But it is every inch as creepy as some of the creepiest places I've ever been. Welcome back, everybody, to this Sometimes vlog and to this creepy underground layer of storage here. There's a reason why I'm in this creepy underground layer of storage, and that reason is because I'm a grown-up. I just got back from France a few days ago. I was super tired and super jet lagged and super worn out and super sore. So I decided to take a little rest to calm down. There was no way to double Disney because when I left France, as I said the other day in the vlog, when we flew home first class, woo, that was fun. In the other vlog, my ticket for that day actually wasn't good, and I do have an annual pass to Disneyland Paris, but when I actually forgot it in the United States. When I went to Disneyland Paris this time, included with the hotel room, I guess, or something, they gave me this 16-day ticket, and it didn't cover the morning I left to go to the airport. So sadly, there was no double continental, double Disney this time when I returned. But I feel like I've been there. I've done that, and I've lived to tell the tale. I'll probably do it again in the future too. So that, of course, is not the next vlog that you are seeing, which maybe some people expected to see, and I'm sorry to let some of you down. But that's the way the cookie crumble. That's what happened. Hear that? Just that creepy, crackling radio sound, and there's nobody down here, and there's nobody around except for me, and now you. When I was in France, something happened under my pants. I did something, God only knows what, to this ankle. And I think I ripped a tendon or something because there's a weird pain like inside the upper part of my ankle and it shoots up my leg, but it's only like every 9th or 10th step or so, unless I'm going downhill or up and down stairs, and then it like twists in some funky way interiorly that really hurts, and then I really twisted up my knee doing the same thing walking around Paris, and I played through the pain in France and didn't really mention the vlog or mention it really anywhere else because I figured like I'm just sore from walking around so many days. And then I realized as I flew home, you saw first class, I was all stretched out, and I was stretched out in that seat, and I was resting for, what is that, an 11, 12-hour flight, and I was taking a taxi to the airport, and the night before I was in the hotel room, so it's not like I was walking around. So I almost spent, I don't know, I spent a good portion of the next day completely resting, and it hurt worse when I got home. And then, when I did get home, my room was full of stuff. I could not even unpack because ever since I got divorced, so like a year ago or whatever, ever since I split up and a whole bunch of nasty bad stuff happened, which if you don't know about, you're gonna have to go backwards in the vlogs because we just don't have time for that today. Ever since all that stuff happened, I've been crammed into one little tiny room and living in this one little tiny room, and as things after things and box after box of old stuff gets delivered to me, and as I keep going on these trips, what I keep doing is going in the car or whatever, people are sending me stuff in the mail, and I'm traveling around, and I'm collecting different things, or different things are coming my way, or luggage, or laundry, or whatever it is, then I'm going home, and I'm only gonna be home for a week or two, so I kinda unpack everything from the car, and I dump it all into this room where I'm living, and then I kind of go back on another trip, and then I clean up the room a little bit, and it was just stock. I was just piling up stuff to the point where I was getting stressed because my birthday's coming up on the 25th, and I knew more people were going to send me stuff in the mail, and I was just getting like, no, please don't send me anything. I don't have any room. And I realized I'm just going to have to suck it up, be a grown-up, and go get some kind of storage. Storage is not all that expensive. It took a hefty chunk out of my monthlies, let me tell you. What the heck? What kind of phraseology is that? It took a hefty chunk out of my money, but I realized that like I just need some kind of storage. So betwixt paying for health insurance now and the storage now and all kinds of other monthly things like software and different kinds of stuff that I'm paying for, I'm paying quite a lot per month in things. But I realized storage was going to have to be one of those things because there's a lot of stuff that I don't have. For example, when I used to be in a band, for a long time, there's all kinds of records and shirts and weird stuff that are all piled up in other people's garages that for the past year and a half, people have been going, hey man, I got all this stuff. What do you want me to do with it? I have an amplifier and I got all this stuff, that family pictures and things in a house I used to live in, and all this stuff is stacked up that I did not know what to do with. So, boy, I'm looking in the camera and I'm like, this looks bigger on camera than it is in real life. This is a little bit narrower than the skinniest street in Paris, which I did a vlog from the other day, which most of you didn't see. So if you want to go back and check that out, it's there. The skinniest street in Paris. This is my storage. Welcome. I feel like a grown-up. It's all mine. This is my property. I went to Home Depot. I bought some shelves. I put them together. And I dragged box after heavy box of books, vinyl records. Some of them are from my band. Check it out. Here's some 7 inches here. These were released only in China and Germany. Figure that out. That's a Chinese band. That's my old band there. And there's my first guitar that I ever had. And here's some lights I have for filming different skits and things I really haven't had a chance to use much because I live in one tiny room, so I really don't have a place to film some of the things that I'm meaning to film. Here's a painting by my friend Roscoe Soul Train that he gave me a long time ago. So there's things in here. There's a whole box. This is the whole box just of Disney stuff people give me. Like books and maps and crazy park maps and different stuff. Darth Vader popcorn thing. I know because all you're gonna ask what was in here, so I might as well tell you. This is just clothes, old clothes and stuff. There's no light in this storage, so it's a little bit creepy. Here's just some more books and stuff like that in there. So not a lot of like super fancy stuff, but just stuff that I honestly had no room to live with. I didn't have the room and the space where I'm at. Gosh, it's so creepy out here. Every time I walk around here, I think the lights are gonna flicker and I'm gonna see something at the end of the hall. Like you can just Photoshop something into the end of this hall right now, something creepy. Photoshop something. Take a screenshot of this, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'd put something in there on Photoshop. You'll see how creepy it looks. Like The Grudge, or like just even Adam, or just someone standing there smiling. Just anything that would be back there. When you walk out of this, it's just so creepy, you just don't know what to do. Anyway, there's a bag from Disneyland Paris. I don't actually even know what's in there. Oh, I think it's like some Chinese soldiers from Epcot and some Disney buttons and just random things. Here is a whole bag of stuff from Area 51, like a license plate and some weird stuff that I was going to not raffle off like a raffle, because a raffle you have to buy into, but do little giveaways to and pick some names out of the hat of people who donate on Patreon, including that little alien in a jar that was in the Area 51 video. So that's kind of what's going on with me, is I have to move all that stuff that's in my house. I have like, you know, Tusken Raider masks and all these just different things that are piled up in my bedroom, just surrounding me and kind of choking me off with stuff. And it's not stuff I want to throw away, because there's stuff like this, for example, Tyler's Mexican large hat back here, which I need to deliver back to Tyler soon on a cross-country road trip of delivering Tyler back his hat. That's going to happen, I'm really, really hoping, in May. Like a few days after Dapper Day, I'm going to depart and try to give Tyler back his hat. That's at least my loose plan for what's going to happen in May and June. And so there's all kinds of stuff I can't throw away yet. Then there's stuff that is other people's. Like here I have some books. This one is Heimbuch's. I think these ones are my friend Ben's. I'm like, I can't just throw away their stuff, you know, I gotta actually give it back to them. So I'm being a grown-up and I have this storage. Hopefully I won't have it too long, because either I'll live somewhere different, or I'll figure out some other means of storing stuff, or I'll be able, between like selling off some stuff, giving away some stuff, maybe I'll be able to reduce it and get a smaller one. But I have stuff in other people's houses that will probably fill up all the rest of this, at least to here, with boxes of like old band shirts and stuff like that I'm gonna get rid of. So to that end, I'm thinking really hard about having some kind of garage sale or thing or whatever. And then another friend of mine, who for the moment will be remaining nameless, but who also does YouTube and YouTube accessories for a living, was talking about how maybe we should have a meetup somewhere in LA area. And we keep talking about different things, different ideas. Can we do one at a comic shop? Can we do one at this? We wanted it to be someplace, we wanted it to be someplace. Did you hear that? We wanted it to be someplace free where everybody could get in and everybody could do what they needed to do. No, I promise you. Like, there's the radio, listen. I promise I heard someone walking around here. Of course, people have storages in here. People have all kinds of storages in here, so they're allowed to walk around here and do whatever they want. But it's just a little bit creepy. Anyway, we were talking about how we should have a meetup, but it should be somewhere free, somewhere accessible, someplace people can go. You don't want to have the meetup in a theme park, A, because it's against the rules in certain theme parks, and B, because I'm getting really weirded out in here. And B, because you don't want to have it somewhere where people have to pay to go in. So we don't have people to pay to come and hang out or whatever. But I also need to have a garage sale. I need to clear out my life of some things. There's a bunch of cool Disney stuff. There's a lot of stuff people send me, which, don't get me wrong, I think it's so cool when people have stuff they need to clean out. And they're like, you know who would really appreciate this or get a kick out of this is Justin. And they send it to me. That is super cool, super awesome. That's how things like Tara Mickey, if you know about Tara Mickey, are born. Because people, I'm just getting weirded out, I'm sorry. Because people send me this really cool stuff. Man, it's creepy in here. And that's really cool that people want to share it with me. But never send me anything without understanding that there's a high chance, excuse me, there's a risk at least, that I'm not going to be able to have the room to keep it or store it. And then I might end up giving it away or selling it on, not really on eBay, but like selling it or having to get rid of it myself or pass it along in my own way. But it's really cool when people want to share. So if you want to send me stuff, I guess you can, but just understand that I can't always keep everything. Even if it's super awesome and cool, it could be super valuable, super great, super cherished. You can send me your best stuffed animal from when you were a child and I might get it and be like, wow, that's really cool, thanks for sharing it with me, but I can't hold on to it. Other stuff though, I can and do hold on to. It's just, you know what I'm saying. So what we're thinking is, what if we get a booth at a swap meet? We can sell off some old stuff that we have. There'd be a public place so we can meet up. It wouldn't be a huge problem. And maybe set up a booth so between like, say certain hours, say like, oh, between 1 and 3 or 1 and 2 or whatever it is, certain hours we can set up like a fun pick booth. That's what I'm thinking. So if anyone out there has an easy up or can print some cool backdrops, or we could do like a fun pick booth or something like that. Just something where we can hang out, we have something to do, and it's like double duty for me because I have a bunch of stuff I gotta get rid of. But then I would need somebody to help me sell it. I'm a terrible salesman because I'm like, oh man, I really wanna get $10 for this thing. Like when I was in a band and I would work at the merch booth, and we had all these records and stuff, I was the worst person. Like I wasn't even allowed near my own merch at first. Be like, oh, you don't wanna do the merch? Go do the merch. And I'd be sitting there and a shirt would be $10 because we paid $8.99 to make it or something. And someone would come over and be like, well, I only have $5. Why is it 10? And I'd go, okay. So I'm the worst salesman on the planet. Like even I exist off of, you know, Spreadshirt and being able to sell t-shirts. The ads in my videos really, like the little ads in the beginning and end of videos, they really don't pay that much actually. I think in a really super great month between both channels, it's only a few $100s. And great, like the best months of the year. And it's never gone over $1,000 a month. So I totally live off of Spreadshirt and being able to do Patreon stuff for different trips and everything like that. So you would think, being that it's my full-time job, that I would remember to be like, hey man, Spreadshirt, wanna go and get a cool Random Land shirt or a thing? Go over to Spreadshirt in like every video. But I either constantly forget or I feel all awkward, so I'm like, Spreadshirt.com, without even saying what that is, because I'll say that in every video and then people will hit me up and be like, hey man, where can I get your hats and your shirts? And I'm like, oh, I say it all the time, but I don't even realize. Anyway, I'm a terrible salesman, so I might need somebody to help me with the booth, because otherwise I'll be like, yeah, I don't know, I guess you could take my whole left hand for 35 cents. Like I'm terrible at it. Plus then that saves me for the fun pick booth, so I'm hoping to do that. Anyways, have I been to the park yet? No, I haven't. Today is Sunday. I got back late on Thursday, and I have not actually been to Disneyland yet. And the reason I haven't been to Disneyland is the same reason why I'm actually in an extreme amount of agonizing pain, I think, and ripped my something in here. And don't worry, yes, I am going to go to a doctor to make sure, like, I know what's up. But what I realized when I landed, I was like, oh, should I go do a vlog at the park or whatever? I realized I needed to do all this crazy stuff. So I'm moving all these heavy boxes, doing all this stuff, and I was hurting myself even worse, to the point where my leg is actually, or not today, but 2 days ago when I was setting up these shelves and moving all these boxes, was so painful that it was sensitive to the touch all the way around it on the outside. I couldn't touch anywhere on my leg. I was screaming in pain. It hurt so bad, and my knee hurt so bad. And I was thinking about going to Disneyland, and I realized I would have to go on a scooter or something if I went down there. Did you hear that? Which I didn't want to do. And then it hit me. I have been in 8 Disney parks since the beginning of this year. It's not even the end of March yet, and I have been in 8 Disney theme parks. Already, I have spent more than a month traveling and being inside of theme parks or being far away from my home. Out of less than 3 months of this year, I have spent over a month away, traveling, roaming around, filming vlogs, sometimes multiple vlogs a day, and random lands and different things. I have a ton of stuff stacked up to edit. I have a ton of stuff to clean out and do, obviously, in my life. And I also have a huge massive pile of receipts, wonderful receipts and things. Speaking of money, the reason why I brought up the money thing before wasn't a sneaky pitch for you to go visit livefastdieport.spreadshirt.com. I'm really not that shy about being like, hey guys, you want to know how I eat food? livefastdieport.spreadshirt.com. I've never really made a secret about that. I don't have a problem saying that because it's my job. But the receipts and the financial stuff is relevant because actually I have to do a little thing called taxes. Now maybe you guys don't know what Patreon is. I was talking about how I was going to have to go back to doing graphic design and doing different stuff to earn some extra money because, you know, eating is kind of a necessity for me and for others. Earlier last year in 2015, and I was on Periscope, and a whole bunch of people were like, have been pushing me for a long time, try this Patreon thing, try this Patreon thing. And Patreon is a website where instead of making a one-time donation, say like on PayPal, you're like, I really like your videos, I'd like to give you $50, contribute towards, you know, trips or vlogs or your cell phone bill or whatever it is. Patreon's a thing where you can go like, hey, you know what, I pay for cable, I pay for my Xbox Live, I pay for whatever, I pay for Netflix. I really, really like your videos. Here's a place that you can pay $1 a month if you think I'm $1 a month funny, and it takes it out every month automatically and whatever, and it's this really cool thing. So people have ended up putting a bunch of money into Patreon. So I have this Patreon page, Justin Scard, I think. Patreon.com/Justin Scard. And what happened was I was like, cool, great, there's $2,000 in there, or there's $3,000 in there. At one point it even hit 4 and then it went violently back down. I'm like, here's several $1,000s. I know what I'll do. I'll go take that money and do exactly what I said I was going to do with it and go out on these trips and film random lands and film vlogs. So I'd go on these trips. So what was happening was I was getting like, say I got $4,000 in a month. I was paying my bills, and obviously all the home stuff was getting taken care of. And then I was going out and say I had $3,500 left. I would go out and spend $3,500 like on the trip. Like some people were getting my hotels even for me, or get my flights, but I'd spend money on gas, I'd spend money on vlogs, or cameras, or different things, museum entry, different kinds of stuff like that. Some of these trips are kind of expensive. The problem is that that's fine, everything was great, but the problem is that I made the mistake of not remembering I never thought about the fact that it's like, oh, you really need to save 30% of that for a little thing called taxes. So if someone gave me, say, here's $3,000, go on a trip to Disney World, and if I spent $3,000, I'd be like, cool, everything's cool. And then now I'm hitting the fan of realizing, oh, now April's coming up, and I'm going to owe 30% of that $3,000 that's already spent. Now, having said that, I've got it all taken care of. I have the money to pay my taxes. It's okay, it's no problem. But now I'm in the mad scramble of having to dig through boxes like this of receipts and show to the United States government what you spent the money on. So there's some things, like here's a Best Buy one. So I'm sure this is stuff that is like a write-off, like, oh, here's like, you know, camera case. What's the other thing? Here's another thing. Well, this says $700. Oh, that's for a camera. So there's a camera on here that costs $700. So this is an important receipt. Bam, there's the receipt for something and all that stuff. So I have to be able to go through this entire box and say, here's what I spent, that's a write-off, and here's what, you know, I earned and all this stuff. So I now have to go through, me, the person that's the worst at math ever, through boxes like that of receipts, find the different stuff, because I really didn't keep track, because I really didn't think about it that much. I really just didn't think that it would, I didn't think that it would build up enough, or that enough money was coming in that I would have to pay taxes on it. But it turns out it was a lot more money than I thought it was, because I was traveling the whole time and spending it. So basically I made the rookie, like 18-year-old mistake of being like, oh, it couldn't have been that much money, but really like it adds up, you know what I mean? It's like people who smoke. They don't realize, like, when you smoke every day, oh, it's $6 a pack or $7 a pack, whatever it is, depending on where you live. And they don't really realize that over the years, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on that. It's kind of like that with these trips. Like, I was just spending what was coming in. So if people were donating, say, $200 to go on a road trip, and I was spending $180 of it, and then maybe getting some food with $20 of it, then the money would be gone. And I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever. So, but over time, that ended up being quite a bit of taxable money. So, in other words, I have to now be home from France doing all of that stuff. So not only am I sore and a little bit crippled from all the crazy stuff that's been going on, but I have to do grown-up stuff like put stuff away in an organized fashion and do things like my taxes. So unfortunately, I'm back from a cool experience traveling around doing Disney, never growing up and doing all that stuff. And then we're going on this cool road trip. I'm coming in April and all this, or in May. But in between that, so all here during my birthday time and leading up to the 15th of April, tax day, the most fun day of the year, I'm going to have to be doing all kinds of errands and grown-up things and really boring stuff. So that's why this vlog, I decided to just come and bring you down into the depths of the creepiest place on earth and show you what I did. Because I'm kind of proud of myself. I put together those shelves. My dad helped me with one of them, but I totally handled the other one almost completely by myself because I know how to build things out of muscle and plastic. So, nailed it. I am going to be going to the park today. I am going to go to Disneyland, I think, or tomorrow. And I'm going to go and hang out there because I am excited to come back and see California with my own eyes again and see real Disneyland with my own eyes. Walt Disneyland. But it might take a few days because, like I said, 8 theme parks in 3 months. 8 Disney parks, 2 continents, you know, 3 different states at least. Okay, if you count France as a state, kind of, you know, multiple countries and states and things, wonderful things. So many airline miles under my belt and all this crazy stuff. Like, oh, there's that sound again. I've been a lot of Disney, so you can forgive me if I don't want to just jump into a Disney park right away, because I mean 8 parks in 3 months. How much Disney can you have? I mean, at what point is enough Disney enough? I mean, don't you think that with 8 parks in 3 months, I've had enough Disney for 1 year? The answer is no. No, I haven't had enough. There's no such thing as enough. There's no such thing as too much. And now, and only now, do I feel like I finally come home. Looks like Europe is over. California is just beginning all over again. I've done my duty. It's time to come home and ride the Haunted Mansion, because they don't have that in Paris. And by the way, no doctor has officially told me to stay off my feet yet, so this is, for the moment, this is legit. Everyone, I'm home. Thank you all for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Au revoir. Wait a minute. We're in California now. Peace out.